So who's live streaming us?
That is it.
Huh?
I don't even know what that is.
I assume Mark is, since
No.
he's the host.
Yeah, the host is doing that, and they're gonna. It was probably Mark did it when I'm standing up there in the meeting. This means they're gonna record it and put it on YouTube.
Yeah. So what kind of projects do you guys work on, according to or related to radio most of the time?
Well,
Ken's the guy that he's got all kinds of projects, but
Yeah.
yeah, I'm right now building antenna array for moon bounce on
Kind of heard something about
432
that.
megahertz, 70 centimeter. That's 432 megahertz. And you go to qrz.com and plug in my call sign. There's a picture of this antenna that I've got up and running. And whenever you bounce a signal off the moon, that's the ultimate QSO, 500,000 miles.
I was actually reading about that yesterday, and it sounded intriguing.
I've got over 100 countries on 2-meter moon bounce, but I'm just starting out on 70 centimeters.
Okay.
A lot of Europeans on moon bounce.
That's pretty neat. I'm looking at some of the pictures you have up. There's some arrays, some
Yeah.
something.
Scroll all the way down to the bottom, you'll see the 2-meter array. That's they're M-squared antennas, 33-foot boom, 4 of them, each one of them 17 elements. It's a big monster. It's a monster of an array.
Yeah, that is large.
I put that up by myself.
Oh
But
boy.
I was younger then.
I was gonna say, how do you accomplish that?
It was not easy.
That's pretty cool.
And the 70 centimeter one, which is 432 megahertz, antennas are a lot smaller for there, so it's a little bit easier to work with.
Yeah. Have any of you guys worked with the Nano VNA? Have you heard of that?
Yes, I have one.
Do you?
Mhm.
So I just bought one, and
It's the best investment you'll ever make.
yeah, I bought the SSA N2 version. I guess it's supposed to be the new version or something. It's a bigger screen with the is it the N connectors or whatever?
Yeah. Mine's a small version, but it's hooked. I hooked mine into my laptop, so I have the laptop screen. I don't ever look at the VNA screen.
Oh, okay.
The laptop screen.
Have you ever got any weird readings out of SWR for that or no?
Not unless I have a weird antenna hooked up to it.
Okay, and that's probably my issue, to be honest. I'm trying to build a antenna out of PVC and welding rod for to use for soda.
For what band?
2 meter. Yeah, 2 meter.
144 megahertz.
Yep.
Well,
Yeah, I was getting some crazy high readings, like 16s on that.
yeah.
So I'm sure I just have something wrong.
Well, let's see. On my website, k5dnl.com, there is some pictures of some readings that would be right for you to look at.
Okay.
But you kind of have to click around to find them.
I will look
I
for
think they're
that.
named, they might be named VNA reading or something. Let me pull up my website over here on this other computer. Let's see. Well, that's a low pass filter one, so that's not really. Okay. Do you have my website pulled up?
I do.
Click on antennas over there
Okay.
and then click on the 630-meter vertical.
Gotcha.
And then click on the nano analyzer image.
Gotcha.
And that's what it should look like.
Okay.
See where it's resonant down there at 475 kilohertz?
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
There's some more on my website. I don't remember where they're at now. You just have to look for them. There's one on the 160-meter unipole
It's
antenna.
Earth Moon.
Gotcha.
Cool, I don't remember what makes it up.
I guess I don't have very many on there for you to look at.
Yeah, I'll have to play with it a little bit. I mean, that's part of the fun, right?
Well, you can start with a known good antenna. Do you have a known good antenna?
Just a couple small ones on the handhelds.
Uh, but put a dummy load on it. You'll be able to.
So the load that comes with that should be a dummy load, right? That's a 50 ohm dummy.
Yeah, there's for calibration.
Yeah. So I get a solid one
That's
for
going to
the
give you.
calibration.
It's going to give you a flat line down the bottom, so that may not be a very good
Okay.
one. But just keep use the formula, calculate how long the antenna should be,
Mm-hmm.
and you could even make a little 2-meter dipole. Use the formula 468.
They're running out there with their lights on and they see their eyes.
Use the formula 468 over frequency in megahertz. Give you so many inches.
Yeah, but you got to remember back then,
and build a dipole.
they had been a headlamp, a carbide light headlamp, which if you remember those things, they didn't put out much light.
You need to mute it, Phil.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
It's all right. I have a carbide light. I'll sell you.
We're talking about the hunter's moon and the hunters going out in October and bringing in the game for the winter and hunting at night.
I thought maybe you went snipe hunting.
My comment was the hunters may have had lights, but a lot of those lights consisted of a headlamp carbide light, which didn't put out much light, if you remember.
Yeah.
Well, Ken, thanks for the information. I actually have to run for the night. But I'll probably be joining more regularly. This has been good stuff. So thanks and nice meeting everybody.
Build a little dipole and feed it into your VNA.
Okay.
And trim the ends of it till you get it the right length for it to dip at the frequency you want it on.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I'll try that. Thanks.
Good talking to you.
Yep. Bye, guys.
Take care.
Bill, what have you been doing?
I have been working mainly at home. Had to go into work yesterday. I'll have to go into work tomorrow, which won't be too bad. And I got to work at home all day today. So I was either on the phone or writing emails all day.
That don't sound like any fun, but at least you was at home.
Yeah, the emails aren't any fun.
Yeah. Well, I worked outside some today and I did a little mowing and I worked on my moon bounce antenna a little bit and piddled around mostly.
Well, it was absolutely beautiful to
Oh man, it was great.
be outside all day.
Yep.
And this
Hey,
change
Bill.
of summer's weather.
Hey. No, Bill.
You got two bills now. Did you get
Can't
that
have too many
antenna?
bills.
Did you get that big tower delivered yet?
Yeah, the tower is delivered. I've had it for probably a week or so,
Yeah.
but I don't have it up yet.
I was going to mention another good reason not to put the tower close to your house, not just because of the noise, but if that sucker falls, you don't want to hit your house.
Yeah, good point.
So that's another reason.
Well, I've definitely decided to take your advice and get it away from the house.
Yeah.
Just it's gonna take quite a bit more coax. I'm
Oh,
gonna end
yeah.
up with probably 160 feet or 170 feet of coax.
Well, I've got from my shack to my 60-foot vertical in the back is about 225 feet. I got 225 feet of coax underground going back there, and I've got a remote tuner back there, so I can tune it from inside the shack. So I got a couple of wires going back to that. But that's the way to do it, man. Get it away from your house.
Yeah, the only question now is I measured the height of some of the big oak trees that we're surrounded with here, and they're measuring about 50 feet tall, maybe right around there.
Tall?
50 feet,
Yeah. Your microphone broke up a little bit there.
and the tower is only 40 feet. Then I'll have a little bit of mast and the antenna, but I don't know. I probably should have bought a 50-foot tower so I could get up above the tops of those trees.
I think you'll be okay. How far away is the trees from where the antenna is going to be?
Well, not that far. Maybe 50 feet.
That's probably okay. The trees don't affect you like a building or a metal building or something would. So if you're 50 feet away, you're in good shape.
So
So one consideration is towers and antennas tend to collect big chunks of ice. We had these towers all over Oklahoma. We had one down on the Arbuckle Mountain. It was only a 150-foot tower. And it collected ice. And when the ice fell off of that tower, it hit the equipment building that was right adjacent to the tower. And that chunk of ice didn't even slow down until it hit the concrete floor.
Wow.
So even a 40 or 50-foot tower, you get some pretty good chunks of ice. And you really don't want them to hit your roof. You'd rather them hit the ground.
Yep.
good point.
Another good point to get it away from your house.
As far as, you get the thing out in the middle of the yard, if you put in good quality coax, like Elmer 400 or 1813 or something like that, then you'll never see that loss, especially on HF.
Oh, yeah. You don't have to worry about loss. That loss is negligible. And maybe on 6 meters, you got some loss in that long run, but
Well, VHF up, you have to really think about that, but
But
you build-
LMR 400 that Phil's talking about is real
That's
low
right.
loss anyway. LMR 400 is like 2.2 dB per 100 feet at 400 megahertz.
it's
that's not much
almost
loss.
it's almost equivalent to half-inch heliacs,
Yeah,
and a whole bunch cheaper, and a whole lot easier to put in,
Yep.
even though it's a pain in the royal butt to terminate.
yeah.
You have to terminate that stuff. And of course, it's double shielded and it's glued and all that. So you got to deal with that. But hey, it's really good coax. And you can
Does anybody use heliacs?
Say again?
Does anybody use heliacs?
Yeah, I've got some going up to some hard line going up to my 2-meter EME tower, going up it. It goes all the way from my shack underground and up the tower. And then I have a LMR 400 to go around the rotor and go on up to the antenna.
When you say hard line, you talk about heliacs.
I'm talking about hard line that's 7/8 hard line.
7/8.
LDF 50 hard line.
Wow, that's big stuff.
Yep.
That's what I put on the repeater. I got a repeater site.
Yeah.
I used LDF 550 7/8 heliacs. Of course, it's 300 feet.
Yeah.
But you pretty much have to have something like that if you're going that high.
And if you're doing VHF or up.
Yeah, we were doing VHF and UHF.
Yeah.
We got 2 runs of heliacs, and then
But Bill, for HF or even 6 meters, you don't really need that. If
yeah,
you
yeah,
use some LMR 400 or even you don't go to small.
you lost your audio, I think.
Yeah, it did.
Can anybody else hear him?
No, I can't. Your audio dropped out, Ken.
Drop that. Hello, test 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, it's
You got
Yeah,
it
we-
back.
You
Yeah, I
got
can
it?
hear you.
I think my USB connector down here. Sometimes I hit it with my foot, I guess. Get it plugged in the front of this computer. Not long enough to go to the back. Anyway, you don't need hard line, Bill, and
I was thinking about maybe trying to put an additional 10-foot section in that tower to get it up to 50 feet, but
I think you're good.
What, 25G?
I'm sorry. No, it's
It's aluminum tower,
universal.
Oh,
brand name Universal aluminum tower.
well, with an aluminum tower, are you going to guy it?
No, it's a self-supporting tower.
Self-supporting tower.
Like I told you, Bill, even if it's self-supporting in Oklahoma, I would guy it.
With
Now,
some
Does the manufacturer say it's self-supporting, or are you just putting it up
Yeah,
as self-supporting?
it's sold as a self-supporting tower.
Okay,
They give
I would put it in exactly
give wind
like the
ratings on
manufacturer
it.
tells you to do it.
They give a wind rating on it at 80 mile an hour, 100 mile an hour, and 110. But at 80 mile an hour, it's a 7 square foot tower. I mean, it'll take a 7 square foot beam. At 100 miles an hour, it drops down to 4 square feet, and at 110, it's only 2.5 square feet. So, if you get 100 mile an hour wind, I don't know whether it would stay or not. It depends on how much fudge factor they've got built into their calculations. I'm
Yeah.
sure that they have some safety margin built in there, but I don't know how much.
They use a safety margin of about 3.
Yeah.
So you have a lot.
Well,
But
if there's that kind of safety margin, then I breathe a lot easier.
but most average beam antennas are only up around 4 or 5 square feet a load. You know, unless you got a big Mosley like Harold's got. And a lot of those, you know, depending on how the manufacturer rated it, that may be 80 mile an hour operational, 100 mile an hour survivable.
I have a Mosley TA-36.
Is that a 36 foot boom or?
It's about 20 foot. It's a big old antenna.
Yeah, 20 foot is a big boom. This is a hex beam, and
Yeah, the
It,
wind load's not too bad on it.
Oh,
No.
yeah.
it's a 5 square foot wind load on that
Yeah.
hex
At
beam.
most, yeah. You don't have any problem at all with that.
Yeah. You know, if you're up 40 feet, what's the lowest frequency that antenna operates? Is it 20 meters?
No, 10.
No, other direction.
20 meters.
Yeah. So if you have a 20-meter antenna at 40 feet, you're in good shape.
Oh,
Or
yeah.
height for that frequency. So
I will have a little bit of mast in there, and that's another question I had for you guys is how much mast do you think I can put in there without it getting too
easily 10 foot.
really?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to, if
What's
I can put 10 foot of mast in there, that'll get the beam up above the trees.
Yeah. And with your wind load of your X beam, you could do 10 foot mast. And don't you think, Phil?
You got it going through a tapered section with a rotator right below the top. Is that right?
Right, yeah. Rotator goes down several feet down. I haven't really put the rotator plate in there to see where. I think it's adjustable
Yeah.
up and down.
Most of them are, and you have a tapered section at the top, then it's a non-problem. You can put the rotator anywhere you want.
Yeah.
You know, the only thing the rotator is holding is the weight of the antenna, which is almost nothing.
So if you do that, Bill, you can easily put a 10 foot mast in there and drop
Yeah.
that rotor down 2 or 3 feet. You'll be in good shape.
You're in good
I
shape.
wonder where I could come up with a piece of aluminum mast that I could use there. I need something that's 1 5/8 OD and 1 3/8 ID.
If you're adamant about doing aluminum, then if you're adamant about doing aluminum, then check out Metal Warehouse on 89th Street, just west of I-35.
That's where I bought my material to build these 2 432 moon bounce antennas. I bought it there, and those are good people to work with.
You get off on 89th Street, you go past the truck stop there, and you turn right, and you go about a block, and Metal Warehouse is right there.
It's hard to find, Bill.
Yeah, I've bought from them before. I've never bought aluminum tubing, but I've bought some bar stock and some aluminum plate from them before. It's been several years.
Yeah.
But
Well,
I'm familiar with them.
You're going to incur a little bit of sticker shock. So get out your checkbook, be prepared to pay for it.
Yeah, I know. They're high, and metal I've read, metal has gone way up since COVID.
Yes, it has.
If you're going to use aluminum mast there, it's going to have to be pretty thick wall, Bill.
Yeah, I know. Well, the thing that they warn you about is using any steel adjacent to the aluminum because of the corrosion.
Well,
Electrolyte
in this
corrosion.
case, you wouldn't have to worry about that. It's not bolted to it. It's not bolted to the aluminum tower. It only goes through the top bushing.
Yeah,
So
You
you
got
can
the
use a
tapered
steel.
section on the top. It's got to be big enough to hold whatever pipe you're putting through it without being too big.
Yeah,
right. Yeah, if the mast, were coated or painted with something that was really tough, that would isolate the mast from that aluminum bushing up there. I don't know. If I could get aluminum, I'd probably go for the aluminum, but
if you a piece of 10-foot aluminum thick wall, like Phil said, is going to be a sticker shock because you're going to have like, I don't know, close to a 1/4 inch wall thickness.
Well, the equivalent of a Schedule 40
Yeah,
steel
PVC.
pipe.
Yeah,
And you can buy that stuff from Texas Tower, but by the time you pay freight to ship a 10-foot piece of pipe down here, you've made up the difference in what you can get it right up there at Metal Warehouse for.
yeah,
Phil's
yeah,
right.
it would have to go motor freight for sure.
Yeah,
That's right, and that costs a lot. And you're probably cheaper in the long run just to get it up there at Metal Warehouse.
yeah. Well, the prices wasn't. I bought 2 sticks of 1.5 inch square tube. I can't remember what the wall thickness was. It's pretty thick wall, 14 foot long for the booms for my antennas. And then I bought, I think 6 10-foot sticks of 1/4 inch solid for the elements. And it ended up costing me about $80 per antenna. So $160 or $170. I built 2 20 element antennas for 70 centimeters. And that's what I'm using for moon bounce on 432 megahertz. So the price wasn't too bad. I figured it'd be higher than that.
So if I think everybody's saying is that on HF, it'll penetrate those trees reasonably well.
You don't have to worry about it. You're 50 feet from the trees and you're close to 50 foot tall. Your antenna's close to 50 foot up. You don't have to worry about it.
Depending on who you want to talk to. I mean, my 10-meter antenna is literally 10 foot off the ground.
Yeah.
It's surrounded by trees all over the place.
And it still works.
And it still works.
Is that a beam of some sort?
I call it a 2-element rotatable dipole because I have a 10-meter element and a 6-meter element, both of them driven in parallel. The 6-meter element becomes a director for the 10-meter, and the 10-meter element becomes a reflector for the 6-meter, and it loads up good on both 6 and 10.
Well,
Hey, we got 2 more in here, John and Paul. How you guys doing?
How you guys doing tonight?
We're just chatting away here.
Yeah, I'm just sitting here listening. It's pretty good.
Well,
Yeah,
you
I've been
guys-
getting to the in-person meetings, but my wife has an orchestra practice down at OU, but didn't have it tonight, so staying home.
Well, what have you been working on, Paul? You got new projects going?
Not radio associated, working on getting the RV ready for a trip.
Where are you going?
Oh, we'll be going to Florida to visit relatives.
Mhm.
So anyway,
So you taking
John?
any radio gear?
yeah, I'll take my QRP set up with me.
What kind of QRP rig you have?
I got the Elecraft, the KX3.
Yeah.
So I got that in a good hard shell case.
Beautiful radio. Beautiful
Um,
radio.
and little portable end fed half wave there I got from QRP guys. So that'll be good. It's already worked.
Based on what we saw last night, you just might get back in here on the 6 meters if it's a good night.
Really?
6
We had a
meters
guy-
open, Phil?
We had a guy check in from Ohio.
Wow.
Yeah. Guess I'm gonna have to get my 6 meter thing up and running.
Is
You
10
guys,
meters?
speaking of 6 meters, have any of you tried a meteor scatter on 6 meters? I used to do that years ago, and that's a blast. And it's not as hard as people think it would be.
Speaking of 6 meters, I'll be back with a picture, I hope.
You have to go out in the backyard and hold the antenna up and point at the meteor.
You could, I guess.
Galen,
Is anybody getting anything on 10 meters these days?
I got a guy in Georgia.
Well, Carl said that there was some openings into South America.
10 meters, just like the old 11 meters. If the band is open, it's open good.
Well, that's the way 6
You can
meters
talk
is.
all over the place. But you may get halfway through a conversation and it just stops.
Oh,
Gotta
Yeah.
be quick.
yeah.
Yeah, the last time I was active in radio, 10 was wonderful, great. I had 25 watts and it was,
Work the world.
yeah.
So,
It's
Had a
really
little-
one of the best bands. I mean, you can get up there with a small antenna, you can do it without too much power.
Yep.
If the band is open, it's open.
right.
I got a question for anybody that's been a ham for a while. Does anybody remember having seen the old ICOM, what they call them, their bookshelf series? There was a 6 meter portable and a 2 meter portable that matched. I don't know how to put the picture up here and share that on the screen.
Yeah, you can't because of Mark Vaughn's got it.
You have to be authorized to do that
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
by Mark. But I remember the ICOM stuff, and I even built a few ICOM kits, and I still have an ICOM grid dip meter that I built back in the 60s.
well, this ICOM, a friend of mine, more or less my Elmer, he's 2 years older than me, knew from the ham club in high school. I had the 6 meter rig, a little portable one with an extendable antenna on it, put out less than 5 watts, sideband or CW. And then he finally just made it a permanent loan. He's not going to be active in radio anymore. So one time I heard, it was a rainy Saturday, something online, I saw that 6 meters was open. So I go out and like, oh, okay, I'll see what I can do. And standing outside in the rain with an antenna about 3-4 feet long, extended from the radio and only a couple watts of power, I got into, I think, Wyoming, Utah,
Yeah.
and Colorado. And it turned out it was one of the VHF contest weekends. So just in case anybody needed, can't remember how it worked. And so I thought, well, if anybody needed to confirm my contact with them, I filled out the log and sent it into the ARRL. That was the last. I thought, well, okay, just help anybody needs to confirm contacts. A few months later, I get an envelope from the ARRL that I won at least this section, low power battery operated VHF for about
That's
3 or 4
wonderful.
contacts.
That's
Like,
wonderful.
well, okay, and that was it, just on this thing standing in the rain. So
Yeah.
it's just because the band happened to get open.
Yep.
I gotta go, guys. Dinner bell's ringing.
Okay, Phil. See you
Yeah.
later.
Have a good night.
Yep. That 6 meters is a blast when it's open.
Yeah, so I'm hoping with the better radio now and get some antennas up to be able to do more on 6. So that was fun. But I got quite a laugh out of it. I wasn't trying to, win a contest, but apparently I was the only one in the section who
Yeah,
fit that criteria.
you come in first, second, and third. Then.
Pretty much, yeah, I pretty much swept it.
Well, do you have any antennas up now?
Not yet. The started working on other projects, and then before the weather gets bad, doing house stuff.
Yeah.
But I did get one of the the Ed Fong antennas that the club got, so I've got that and know where I'll put that. Just a matter of slowly working on a location for the station inside. But I've got the old internet, satellite internet dish on the back of the house. And all I need to do is basically take the dish off. And now I've got this nice sturdy mounting from which to start with that I can put the dual band antenna and some other things. So I'm slowly making progress.
Yeah, it takes a long time to get everything gathered up and working. Just ask Bill.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Yeah, it takes a lot of time to get everything and get it working.
Yeah, how is Bill doing with this setup?
Well, I haven't made some more stuff has come in, but I haven't made a lot of progress. I'm trying to decide exactly where I want to put that tower, and I think I've pretty much decided on a location for it. And I've got a guy lined up to dig the hole. Guy just across the street, down a little bit. It's got a backhoe, and he's done some work for us out here before, so I can get him to dig the hole, and then and he'll also help pour the concrete. But I was kind of hung up a little bit on whether to try to add a section to that tower. I think I could. I'm pretty sure because they've got a 50-foot version of it. That's got an extra section in it, but it's got a little heavier base. The part that goes down in the concrete's a little heavier, but since I haven't put it up yet, I'd have to get the heavier base and another 10-foot section. But everybody seems to think I'll be okay at 40 feet, and if that's okay, that's great.
Yeah,
that's good news, guys.
you'll be fine.
That'll save you some money too.
Yep.
Yeah. And it's questionable whether they'd let me add a section to that tower and still stand behind it as a self-supporting tower.
Right.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
It's almost identical, except the very bottom section, the first 10-foot section, as you attach coming out of the ground, is a little bit heavier, but it matches up to the next section of the first section of my tower.
Mm-hmm.
So that if I haven't overlooked something, I think that section of tower would fit right in there. But if I can get away with an 8 or 10-foot mast on top,
you can.
That's a lot easier than going with more tower.
That's what I would do. I wouldn't take a chance. Besides that, if you go taller, it's more likely that self-supporting mast would come down in a high wind. So stay 40 feet. You'll be a little safer.
Yeah. There's less catching less wind for sure.
Yep.
When you guy your towers, Ken, do you use a nylon cord of some kind, or you use steel cable, or? Well,
my Roan towers are all steel cable, but I have a 60-foot vertical that's made out of irrigation tubing, which is aluminum tubing, and it's guyed with that nylon rope. But it doesn't have anything on top of it. It's just a vertical. It's an insulated 60-foot, 4-inch diameter irrigation tubing that I load from the bottom for my 630-meter antenna, which originally it was an 80-meter vertical, And then when I got down 630 meters, well, I put a loading coil on it so it would operate down there. So that makes it's a good versatile antenna. That 60-foot vertical, I can feed it directly from the bottom with no loading coil, and it's resonant on the low end of 80 meters. With a little bit of a loading coil on the bottom or top loading, I can get to 160 meters. So it makes a real versatile antenna. And for the lower band, you want a vertical polarized antenna. So you have the low angle of radiation. When you get up to 20 meters, the antenna you want there is a beam.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see how this X beam works.
Now you'll like it. You'll be in good shape. I guarantee you. The way you're doing it, getting it away from your house and away from trees and 40 feet or 40 or 48 feet in the air, you're gonna be working gangbusters all over the place. And your new transceiver, which has a good receiver in it.
It does have a good receiver.
Yeah.
I guess if nobody can hear me, I can always get an amplifier.
Yeah, you won't need it.
Out of 40 feet.
No, you can work the world with that transceiver and a hex beam up there and 100 watts.
Yep.
Well, that'll be great if I can. I mean, that's what I'm hoping for.
You
Yep.
gonna get a rotator up there?
Yeah, I've got the rotator that Ken suggested.
It's a Yaesu 800
Right.
DX, 800 DX, DSX.
Now let me see. I'll have to look on the.
I can look on my rotor here. It's a G800 DX, I think is what you got. Galen, what have you been working on?
No, just sitting here listening to the ladies on Pryor's machine tonight.
You've been working any DX?
I haven't even had the rig on.
Ken, that rotor is called an 800 DXA.
DXA, yeah. Yeah, you'll be in good shape. You got any estimated time of arrival?
Oh, you mean of getting it in the ground?
Getting on the air.
It kind of keeps stretching out, Ken, like all my other projects.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
My projects end up kind of a joke with my wife. They end up costing twice as much and taking 3 times longer.
Yeah, there's no reason you can't get on the air. Throw a wire in a tree and get on the air.
Yeah, I thought about grabbing a pair of rabbit ears to see if I can load that up.
Have you got your radio yet? You got the radio yet?
Yeah,
I can't hear you for the tuner stuff. You want to mute that thing, Galen?
That better?
Oh, a lot better. So what'd you say, Bill?
I was just saying that I've been wanting to use that radio so bad. I thought about getting out a pair of rabbit ears to see if I could load into a pair of rabbit ears.
Yeah. Well, you can always listen.
Yeah, I could listen if I'd need something that I could string up a little piece
You
of
have a
wire.
radio yet?
I'm sorry?
Is your radio there?
Oh yeah, I ordered that radio because I thought the sale was about to go off. They said it was going off at the end of September.
What band do you want to get up on?
Probably 20 meters.
You wanna borrow a 20-meter antenna wire, and I got 50 feet of coax here if you want to use it while you're waiting.
Did you
Well,
did you take the test, Bill, for the general?
Did I?
Yeah. Do you have
Well,
your
since I was licensed, I had a general ticket back in 1960. All I had to take was just the tech.
Uh-huh.
And
Oh,
and then they grandfathered me into the general.
so
There
you
you
have
go.
a general.
Yeah.
So you can get on now on 20 meters.
Yeah.
Well, you can go to Lowe's and buy you a roll of wire and build you a
Well,
diamond.
I got an antenna here if he wants to use it. It just sits in my go bag.
There you go, Bill.
I only use it on field day.
Have to string it up somewhere and figure out where to string it up.
How far is the tree from your where you want to put your radio?
Probably 80 feet.
That's still doable.
Yeah. Just need a little long piece of cable there, nylon rope, hold one end of that thing up.
Well, I'm sitting on 150 feet of coax that I only use on field day with a connector that I use. So while he's waiting, he can get on the air. I'm all about people getting on the air. Just sits in a
Yeah.
bag.
I was hoping I could get this antenna up. But it's always takes longer than you hope. For me, anyway, my projects always do.
Mine
I don't
too.
know. You got 40 feet of tower, then you're going to put a hex beam up on top of that, right? And so you got a tower crew that's coming out there, or
Well,
because they're going to have to climb that tower to get that hex beam up there.
no, I'm gonna put it on, or my plan is anyway, to put it on with the tower laid over.
It's a
Okay.
tilt over tower, John.
Oh, so he's going to crank it up.
So yeah,
But he's got to have the cement poured and the hole dug.
yeah. You're gonna
I'm
have it
gonna
ready to raise up and put his
The cement take a couple days to dry.
put the mast on there and put his antenna on there and crank it up.
Yeah, Ken sent me a picture of his gin pole and his winch system, and I'm gonna try to duplicate something like that.
Right, but you know how to put the hex beam together, right?
Well, it came with an instruction manual.
Or you have the hex beam already?
Yeah,
Well, crap, he could just prop that up against the side of the house and get on the air.
well, funny enough, a lot of people that buy them assemble them on picnic tables and things out in the yard, umbrella stands and that sort of thing.
Yep.
And then go ahead and hook them up and claim that they get pretty good reception
Well, you
with the
could.
things
Yeah.
dang near on the ground.
Yeah, you could. You could probably work several people.
Oh yeah.
So I may give that a try. I've got to put that thing together, and it does have a lot of parts.
You got to put it together anyway, Bill.
Yeah, I know. It's got to be put together. I just want to get after it. I've just been kind of holding back to find a location, but what you've said about not worrying about the trees has helped me make that decision now. I'm not worried about it near as much now. So
Don't worry about the trees. You're a long ways from them.
but I've got a lot of them.
Doesn't matter. You're up pretty high and you're a long ways from them. Hey, you can throw a dipole up in a tree. and
That's what
make
I was
it
saying.
work,
I just use a wrench and some rope.
And make it work that way. I mean, you don't want to run much power. You might start a fire this winter, but
well, as long as you use insulated wire, I guess you're okay. Huh?
yeah.
I don't know. RF might arc through the insulation on.
It would if you was running a lot of power, but 100 watts, you'd probably be okay. But But anyway, John's right. You need to throw up something and get on the air while you're waiting for, to get the concrete poured and all that kind of stuff.
This way you can get used to your radio. You set up how you want it configured and all that. It takes time to learn a radio.
It's going to take me some time to learn that radio for sure.
That's what I mean. So you might as well get up on the air right now and make your mistakes now until you get 40 feet up in the air and don't know what you're doing.
Yeah, good point.
So, I did that several times. I didn't know how I was using the radio and threw that thing up in there, and I was like, oh, no. You're backing on back.
Well, I've got a 100-foot of coax and I've got wire, so I could make a 20-meter dipole like yours pretty easy. I mean, that's when I was on the air back years and years ago. That's all I had. I did have a little 20-meter beam or 10-meter beam that I built, homemade beam.
Yeah, but you're talking about another project. Just take this one and throw it up in your tree and see what you do.
Well, I might take you up on that.
Yeah, let me know.
How do I get a hold of you?
Oh, QRZ, you can email me. My email address is up there.
Okay.
Where do you live here in Norman, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it wouldn't be no issue. I'll even throw the wrench up in the tree for you with the rope. I got extra rope.
Is that the way you do it?
Well,
Okay.
I live for field day. Field day is my favorite, I guess you could say, contest. And I actually go all out. I find some trees out at a campsite, and I'll throw up 4 or 5 antennas. I think this year we were on 160, 80, 40, and 20, and we just had a ball. And not really cooperating in the overnight hours in the tent. But yeah, no, I have a bag down here where I keep all that junk at, and I use it once a year. And then that way I don't have to mess with any of my fixed antennas. But yeah, I just
go bag.
Yeah, that's right, a go bag. So basically what I do is I'll take a couple of wrenches and tie it to a rope, and I just sling that bad boy up there. You can get pretty far if you got a clear path. And what's that?
That's the way I used to do it, John, when we went camping.
Yeah, and so you can get up 60 feet, and then you just make a pulley system. And I have a little hook that comes down at the end of the ballon there. It's a 1-to-1 ballon at the end of that, center fed dipole. You just pull it up, and when you're ready to be done, you just cut the rope and just pull it down. It comes right on down, barring that you don't get the wrench stuck in the tree.
The ballon is
sometimes you have to climb the tree to get your wrench.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
Or leave it up there. Huh?
Right.
So the ballon is at the center point where the insulator is.
Yeah. Here, I'll pull it out and show it to you.
What that's for, Bill, is to keep the RF from coming back down the coax. If your antenna is resonant, you don't have that problem very much. If you're trying to operate, that right there is a lot of the people's problem that have RF in the jack.
You see it?
Can you see that, Bill?
Oh yeah, that's a MSJ or MFJ.
No, I built this.
Oh, okay, that's a homebrew.
There we go. And so there you go.
Yeah.
And I had some help with my buddies at Amateur Radio. They're really good people. And it's a little pipe here. And then here's the hook where it hangs, just hangs in the center of the tree.
You see that, Bill?
Yeah, I can.
It just hangs like that. And I have here's the hook I use. I use a hook like this. See if I can get it. There's some rope still tied to it. Oh, hold on. There's some rope tied to it, but I just let's see here. Pull it back.
And the coax screws in the bottom of that ballon.
That's right. So there you go. There's the hook. And I picked that hook up for $1 at Walmart, and they'll turn different ways.
Ron, show him where the coax screws into it. There's the bottom.
The coax screws in right here.
Oh, okay. Does that have ceramic beads inside? Is that,
Got a bunch of cobwebs, but no. No, it's just solid, no beads.
I mean, what's inside the balun?
Oh, nothing. It's just it's turned coil.
Oh, it's a wound balun.
Right,
Okay.
but it's inside the pipe.
Right, I understand.
So you could do it's like if you had a G5 RV, you could take a PVC pipe and you could wrap coax around it and create a one-to-one balun, depending on how many cranks you need for what frequency you want to get up on.
Yeah.
So anyway, with that build, you could get on the air pretty quick.
Yeah, but this right here, you get right on the air. Now this one's 80 meters, but I have 20 and 40 in there too. But yeah, I just hook it up to the tree. You see my rope? I cut the rope right there. That was from field day.
They just cut the rope.
And what do you do with the ends? Do you have some poles for the ends, or do you?
So what I do is I just inverted V, and as high as I want to go up, I have two pieces of rope that just come down to the ground, and then you tie them to a stake. Let's see if I got one of these in here. I think I do. So I just use a stake like that. Still got dirt on it from field day.
Gotcha. Understand.
And you just put the rope through the hole there and just drive it into the ground, and then you have an inverted V.
Ought to work.
And man, I was talking all over the place.
I use tent stakes out there. I guess that's what that is, isn't it?
What's that, Ken?
Is that a tent stake?
Yeah,
What I use. Yeah.
Yeah, it was just, I think I picked it up for 50 cents at Walmart, and I picked up a whole bunch of them, and I keep them in here.
So you can get on there with the inverted V on 20 meters bill and put it broadside to Europe. That's about 45 degrees or 50 degrees.
Well, I have a couple of inverted V's in the backyard, and I was talking to Africa today. So whenever I got off work, they're doing a de-expedition today. I forgot his call sign. Huh?
What band?
20.
20.
Yeah, I think he's still on there. As a matter of fact, let me see. Yeah, he was. Let's take a look.
Oh, man.
Yeah, he's still there. J5T, and man. People are hit on it. So yeah, J5T. They're out of Italy, not Africa. Sorry. And yeah, they're on some de-expedition, and I contacted him earlier today.
Great.
On 20, and I think my inverted V20 is up maybe 40 feet in a tree, but I've done Hawaii in 22 feet in the backyard. So
okay, I'm gonna have to go outside a minute. I'm gonna align my moon bounce antenna, and the moon is up where I can see it now. So I'm gonna go make sure my alignment's right. I'll be gone a few minutes.
that's fine. But yeah, you want to get on and play with your radio. Best way to do it.
Yeah, it's sitting over here on the shelf with the plastic sticky still over the screen.
But yeah, no, me and Ken are just interested in getting you on the air.
I appreciate that. Good deal.
Hi guys, how are you?
How we doing tonight?
Out there painting in the dark. I'm trying to get the trim finished on that garden shed we built last year, and I'm just not getting it done. I'm either working too much or sleeping too much. I don't know which. So, did Dad put up any pictures of that new moon bounce antenna that he's got? He got it back. We poured Pierce for it, and he's got it going. So I'm going to check on it. I haven't been able to get on in like 6 months. I'm dying. Hopefully, I'm going to take some vacation days. Hopefully, I'll at least get to try out the moon bounce that he's got going.
Is that the one with the dual rotor on it that'll track the moon automatically?
We
Yeah.
poured 3 12-inch periods.
Yeah,
So both of them.
here he is. He's back now.
No, I'm not, I've got to go back out. I'm just not there yet. Why, did I have a question?
No,
No.
they were just
She
asking.
was, she was asking.
But
Like,
Bill, email me if you really want to. It's not a big deal. Like I
Okay.
said, this stuff just sits around all year long. So kind of like my tent, I use the tent once a year. You know, I may go out again for November sweepstakes, but I'm really looking forward to that one.
Yeah, there is one other minor thing I have to take care of, and that is drill a hole through a rock wall out here to get into the house.
Not at all. Is your radio going to be in that room?
Yes.
Get a window mount. They're
Well,
25.
these windows they don't raise up and down, they swing out.
Okay.
So there's not much way to go through the windows, but you know, I've got a hammer drill. I can put a 1-inch hole through the rock veneer pretty quick. And
You got a workbench or something in your garage?
yeah, I've got a shop out back with all kinds of stuff in it.
You got room for a radio?
In the shop?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't really want it out there. I mean, the shop is heated and air conditioned, but it gets pretty dusty in there, and I'd rather have it in the house, I think.
No, I understand. No, I'm in my garage. I'm not allowed in the house with this stuff. I'm not allowed. I was booted about a year ago.
Well, look, it looks like you must have partitioned off a pretty nice area there, though.
Yeah, well, no, I'm
door.
in the garage and I just run it out the door. I actually have a hole there that goes out the door to my coax and stuff. And so I picked up, you know, some stuff to make like a weird thing there, a little shelf or whatever. This thing I picked up at the Goodwill and I hammered out. It was like an old like mail thing or something where they used to put mail, I guess, in hotels or whatever. And I just got rid of that, and I needed something to put on top, and I don't like stuff on top of the radios.
Yeah. Are you going to have some heat this winter in the garage, or?
Well, I did have a space heater, but it was confiscated. What's up? What's up? And I'll probably get something. You know, usually I'll just keep the garage door down and the door shut and wear a thick jacket.
There you go.
Well, you know, if you got her interested and she started doing ham radio too, then maybe you'd be able to move inside.
No, I'm not allowed anymore. No, that was banned.
I'm saying if she gets interested, then.
Oh no, she's interested in me being out here.
Okay, I got it.
So I don't hear very well. I don't do very good with earphones. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. And I'll crank it up and I'll wake up the baby. And then apparently I don't know how loud I speak, and that wakes people up. And so, you know, you get making CQ calls. It can go to the wee hours of the morning, depending, you know, what you're doing.
Oh yeah, when the bands are open. I remember one day on 6, I worked like, I don't know, 34 countries and 29 states in like 4 hours, and I wouldn't have moved for nothing. It's too much fun when you get them rolling.
Another thing, Bill, is I have idle hands. And what I mean by that is I have children that like to turn knobs.
She worked Japan on 6 meters. It took me years to get Japan.
Yeah.
And I got it on my first try.
Well, tell me how to get Alaska, and I'll be.
Was that on FT8 or was that on the sideband, or?
That was
JT9, wasn't it?
that was JT9, yeah.
Yeah.
JT9.
Well, my tracker's not working.
I get you.
Hold on, I may have to reboot this computer.
Well, I'm gonna go get me some dinner. You guys have a nice
I'm gonna step out for 1 second.
Tuesday. That'll be back.
But yeah, no, I have your problem, Bill. Really what happened, I was being funny. My radio room got turned into a mother-in-law room.
Oh,
And so
okay.
we take care of her mother. And she's not in the best of health, so we had to use that room to house her.
I understand.
So I moved. Yeah, I complain and bitch and moan about the dust all the time. And but it works for what it works. So
At least you got your privacy
Mainly
out
these-
there.
what's that?
At least you have privacy out there.
Well, I guess so, but they just barge in whenever they want to.
Bill or Paul rather, is that your, all of your gear in the background there?
Say again? Is that who you talking to?
Yeah, Paul.
Oh, no.
Is
I should be so lucky. No, that's the radio room on the Queen Mary out in California.
Oh, okay.
I got a chance to attempt to operate it. Well, I operated. The bands were lousy the day that the time that I had, but it was pretty cool. So I just used.
Somebody is a really good woodworker.
Yeah, that was pretty neat. That was pretty neat setup, and it was on the upper decks there. It wasn't the original location, but it's where they have the station now. And I was the only one there other than the volunteer who was working that day. So that was nice. Got a nice little tour of that, but it was fun. Called some CQs, heard a few stations, but bands were pretty bad. It was several years ago, so bands hadn't started picking up. So it just looks impressive behind me.
Yeah, it does look impressive. That's quite a collection of gear back there.
Yeah, like the one that they had that was something in here that I operated. I don't know where it was. Maybe it was some ICOM in there somewhere. There's an ICOM or Kenwood HF rig. So that was neat. Now I could not work anybody from there. However, years ago from Maryland with one of those older those Radio Shack 10-meter sideband and FM rigs. So maybe putting out 10 watts of power into a wire that, and I did not fully understand the use of counterpoise and all that, but operating from a park, using battery power from the car and a wire thrown up, I got to work the Queen Mary across the country on that little bit of power in that little radio. So I have the QSL for that. Couldn't make any contacts from here, but I got to work them from on the other side of the country. So that was kind of neat.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, it'd be nice to have room to put that big desk.
I think all my equipment now will fit into maybe, let's see if I can point to the right one, maybe into that cabinet there. Everything I have will fit into that now.
Yeah, well, the radio I bought definitely doesn't take up much room. Everything is really small.
And what is that? It's
a Yaesu DX10.
Can you picture which one? Yeah, I can't picture that. I'll have to look that one up.
It's the little brother of the Yaesu DX101.
Oh, okay.
It's a nice radio.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, it looks nice.
Okay,
Hey, did you get that all squared away?
I gotta run back outside again.
Yeah, I was just asking him to see if he got there.
Anyway, I got to check out. So, good evening, all.
Have a good night. They got a busy Elmer night, looks like.
So what part of Normandy do you live in, John?
I live, well, QRZ has my address up there. You can Google it.
Yeah, I can.
Now, I used to be KF5YET, but I'm not him no more. So,
Yeah, where did the 4 come from?
it's my father's call sign. He passed away in 2019.
Oh, okay, I see.
And me and him were avid operators. He was my Elmer. He was my buddy. And we had a blast, let me tell you. We loaded up the chain link fence one time. Yeah, well, I didn't believe he could do it. And man, did he show me. And with the tuner and all that, he got it right. And I thought he was just pulling my chain. He just told me, don't go out there and touch it now. When I was a youngster, I used to be his rotator too.
Yeah, that's the kind of rotator I had when I
Yeah,
back
he
in
used to
1960.
say, hey, look, I want to hear this. You get up there and turn it over here, 45 degrees. And use the compass this time. You get up there, climb up that thing and go whoop and turn it.
I actually I had my little 10-meter beam on a pole right outside the window. I could raise the window and turn the pole and rotate the beam. I had some boards bolted across the beam or clamped to the tower, the little, not tower, but mast. And I could turn the mast by reaching out the window and grabbing on one of the 4 boards and twisting it around by hand.
Yeah. Well, I had to climb up this thing and I didn't like it. Every time he told me to do it, I'm like, oh. You know,
Yeah, that's me. I'm not climbing anymore.
no, well, back then, I'm 13, 14 years old. I didn't care about it. But now I climb up them things. I'm like, I don't even fly anymore. So, looks like Galen's getting ready to do the net here. Yep, he was shaking his head correct. I got to get me one of them headsets. That's pretty good.
Yeah, about 30 seconds away.
Yeah. Got it on there.
Which net is that?
It's the Aries. It's at 8 o'clock
Oh, okay.
on the repeater. And I think they'll have the gossip net at, I think, 8:30 when they're done.
Is that like a 2-meter net or?
Yeah. Yeah, there it goes.
QST, all attention, all amateur radio operators. This is WX5 Demo 1, Cleveland County Amateur Radio Emergency Service. We're going to simulate the emergency this evening. And we're going to be regular roll call. When I call, I'm going to call for prefixes. Please answer only if I call for your prefix. Answer please with your first name, location. If it's Norman, let me know whether it's far west, north, wherever you're
I'm gonna mute for a couple minutes to hear what he's saying. And I butchered that because he said the location I didn't give to him.
Are there any other prefixes they should check in? Come down.
What kind of a 2-meter antenna did you have, John?
I have a J pole.
We'll move on. The prefix begins with K, it's a kilo, and number 1x2 or 1x3 calls. 1x2, 1x3 calls.
1x2. Give me 2 by no.
G5 Neo, Victor West North.
Anyway, he asked location. I didn't say that, so I messed that up.
I got it. I'm back. That, by the way, that was my daughter-in-law that was on here, and she's a ham.
Very good. Oh, Bill, where do you live?
I live on the east side of Norman, near the intersection of Tecumseh and 48th Northwest.
Oh, you're right down the road then. Not
You
far
live
at
on
all.
the you live on the east side?
Yeah, well, southeast. Do you know where the new Walmart is?
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, so you know where Cedar Lane is?
Uh,
How about Highway 77 at Cedar Lane?
well, I know where 77 is. I'm not sure about Cedar Lane, but
Oh, it's on 12. 12 turns into 77.
okay.
But yeah, there was a fella I bought some equipment off of.
I'd like to check in all of the K5.
Trying to figure out what they're doing tonight. But yeah, it would literally take me 15 minutes to get an antenna in a tree for you, and you can use it until you're ready to go.
Well, I may take you up on that. I'll probably I'd get that hole drilled in a piece of I guess put a piece of 1-inch PVC through the wall there.
Put a piece of what now?
1-inch PVC through the hole in the wall.
Yeah.
The house is rocked up about 4 or 5 feet high, so I'm gonna have to go through the rock wall and then through the 2x6 wall and then into the bedroom. But I think it'll work out okay.
Yep.
Just
You say you had a big drill bit, Bill?
yeah, I've got a good heavy duty hammer drill and multiple sizes of
Concrete bits?
yeah, right.
I got a big one if you need it.
Okay.
I don't remember I think it's 1 inch.
Yeah, I think the biggest I've got is a 1-inch. I had to drill some holes for some faucets, and when I bought that 1-inch drill, going through the mortar is easy if I can find a mortar joint that I can go through.
Yep.
But going through that stone, boy, it's
hard.
It's a booger bear because the stone is about 4 inches thick.
Yeah.
It's not granite, but it's hard.
Yeah. My walls are 12 inches thick here.
Ken, did you get matched up with the moon?
I got it, man. I'm within a degree
Very good.
being right on target.
Where's it at tonight?
In the east,
Let me look.
so I can't remember now. I already shut down my program. It's about, I don't know, 15 degrees up and 90, 91 or 92 degrees azimuth.
Yeah, no, I walked out there, man. It just hit me like a sack of bricks.
Yeah. See, I have to align my antenna hardware to the moon. I have software I can have a little bit of adjustment, but I want it to be as close as possible without putting offsets in the software. And it looks like I've got it pretty good now.
And then from then on, it tracks automatically.
Yeah, tracks automatically.
Wow.
So if it's in the east right now, it's going to come south to west.
Right. It's going to go from east to south to west.
Yeah.
And get higher in the sky.
Yep.
As it goes.
You'll be on the air all night.
Yep. See, I also do astrophotography.
Yeah.
And when I do astrophotography, I don't want a moon because the sky is too bright. So whenever the sky is too bright from the moon, I can do moon bounce. And then whenever there's no moon, I can do astrophotography.
Do you have a big telescope that you do that with?
Yeah, yes, I do. It's got I call it an astro shed in the backyard where the roof rolls back and exposes the sky. I think.
What is it? Is it a reflector with a mirror in it, or?
Yeah, it's an Orion astrograph, 8-inch diameter.
You got some pictures on your QRZ page, right?
I've got some pictures. I think I do. Go to qrz.com, Bill, and
Yeah, I've seen them. They're good pictures.
Okay, I'll do that.
And it seems like I might have one on my kphoto.com picture too.
Do you live far enough out of town that you don't get a lot of light pollution there where you are?
I get a light pollution from this gambling casino over here,
Oh,
which
Yeah.
I don't appreciate at all.
yeah.
You out
I
there
can
tomorrow?
imagine.
It's to the northeast of me, and I can't shoot anything that direction.
Yep. No, I'm out there every Wednesday, Ken.
Yeah, that you can't believe how much light that thing puts off.
No, I believe you. That is my most hated stop.
Yeah, mine too. I don't go there.
That travel plaza wears us out every week.
The what?
Although I don't like that travel plaza. We delivered that travel plaza on Wednesday,
Yeah.
and the management is just
Did that? It seems like whenever we had some bad wind out here, did that travel thing get hit?
Yeah.
I was thinking it got some damage. That's not too
Yeah.
far from me.
Yeah, they've been replacing that billboard out there on that sign. You know what I'm talking about? It's you know,
The big sign out there.
yeah, they've been working on it for a month now at least.
Yeah.
I wonder how much wind resistance a 10-foot inch and 5/8 pole is gonna,
It's not
about a
gonna,
square foot.
not gonna be enough to worry about.
It's gonna be less than a square foot of wind resistance.
Right.
Yeah, you don't need to worry about it.
Okay.
No.
So are you against putting guy ropes on that tower?
No, I'm not. In fact, I've got where I think I'm going to go ahead and put it is, there's trees in 3 directions and
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Well, you could just use that nylon rope for that. You don't have to use steel. For this self-supporting tower, you don't have to have the guy set up that I've got, because mine is not self-supporting. But
Right.
they make some of that nylon rope that's I've got quite a lot of it that's about the size of your little finger, but I've got some larger that has got 12, it's about the size of my finger. It's got like 1,200 pounds strength. And if you put 3 of those, 3 different directions, that would give you a lot of support.
What would you come up about halfway?
I'd go a little higher than halfway, 3/4 way.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, while you were gone, Ken, we were talking about getting a dipole and a tree for him.
Good deal. Yeah, you might as well do that.
Yeah.
Inverted V works good. I guarantee you get a 20-meter
Man,
inverted.
you have no idea who I wish I could, I changed my call sign, my old logbook, man, I was just hitting DX like crazy. About a month and a half ago, I think I even got Cuba, which was hard station to get, hard country to get.
You wouldn't believe how many Cuban stations I've worked, John.
Well, okay, well, not all of us have been doing this 1,000 years.
Yeah.
So I grant your experience. Sound like my dad. Well, I talk to Cube every week. But no.
Hey, I worked Cuba when John Kennedy was president.
Okay, well, so now I wasn't even around.
I was.
But it was just interesting to me that they even have amateur radio operators.
There's not very many, John.
No, I actually, the one that I actually got confirmation from was it was a female. She was great, and she had a great setup, and it was really awesome. And that was, go ahead.
She must have had some connections with the government. I'm surprised.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If you're an operator, you've got to have some kind of connection.
Probably a government official.
Because when was the last time you worked a China station, Ken?
It's probably been last winter. I worked several Chinese stations.
I haven't seen, there was a while there, they were all on there, but man, when they shut it down over there, they shut it down.
Yeah.
Oh, they shut the amateur radio down in China?
Oh, everything, anything that could get information out.
I didn't know that.
If they shut internet down, they're going to shut amateur radio down.
I haven't been on those bands, John, for a while because I've been doing this other stuff.
Well, no, I mean, there's been South Korea, there's been Japan. There was a Vietnam on there. I was on vacation last week. I think last Thursday. Of course, these were wee hours of the morning. But yeah, they were on there. But I haven't heard any China stations in a while. It's been a long time.
I worked China on 2 meters.
Wow.
Moon bounce off the moon.
But there's only one guy that I know that's actually worked North Korea, but it's been.
I know a guy. I worked North Korea, and the printout from Logbook of the World is on qrz.com. You go to my page and you scroll down, and you'll see the printout from North Korea.
But yeah, no, it was a friend of mine that's in Florida that I talk to sometimes on Saturday, early Saturday morning on 20. And he has a QSL card from North Korea.
I have a QSL card.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yeah, that's got to be a very unusual one.
Talk about rare.
Right.
Oh, okay. If you go to qrz.com, trying to find it, there's the QSL card. I have a picture of the QSL card where I worked Australia on 630 meters. That's a world record right there. Okay. If you see the vertical, my 630 meter vertical antenna with the tuner right by it is where the contact to North Korea is. You see it? It's right above that QSL card from China. You see it?
I'm not on there, so
Oh. North Korea is a P5.
Is that a region or is that a P5?
P5 is it's like our 5 call sign. P5 is like the United States K.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
like England is a G. Like
Right.
New Zealand is a ZL. North Korea is a P5.
Okay.
good.
So I worked that P5 on 10 meters, 10 meter single sideband several years ago, and he was in one of the consulate buildings, and he was I can't remember what country he was from, one of the Eastern Bloc countries, and he was there on official business, and he brought his ham gear and set the antenna up on the roof of the building. And as soon as North Korea found out it, they told him to shut it down and get that equipment out of their country. So he was on for about a month. He made maybe a couple of hundred contacts, and he had a QSL manager in Texas. So I had no problem getting a QSL card from him. And I was amazed that I got a card from him that quick.
Yeah, that's
I wrote you down because I knew you were there. It was a rather unusual night. Galen started with a little bit different format. And in your case, we just asked for all call signs, KI, KJ, or KK. And so those fell in that category checked in, and we marked them down.
Okay. That was weird.
So anyway, I worked that P5, and not too many people got a chance to do that.
no, that's got to be really rare. So it wasn't, the guy wasn't really a North Korean citizen. He was
Yeah, he was some kind of a official there.
from a foreign government or in
Yeah,
a
from foreign government. Yeah.
in a foreign consulate.
Yeah, you know, like we would be, we have an ambassador there. He was an ambassador from some other country. And it was a 4L4. I don't remember what country that is. Matter of fact, I'll pull it up here and look at it. He was a 4L4FN. Go to qrz.com and type in 4L4FN, and
What country was it from?
that's what we're discussing. 4L4FN.
Let's see here.
I'm going to plug it in.
Oh, I want to say Georgia.
Yeah, Georgia. So he was from Georgia, and he was in North Korea.
They shut him down quick.
Yep. They did. Told him to get that gear out of there. And whenever they tell you that, you do that.
Yeah, if you don't want to end up in a North Korean prison.
Yeah, that'd be a bummer.
Oh, man.
Got to have
That
some
poor
brass
guy.
bugs to even set it up.
I don't know if he knew better or he just was playing ignorant, but
Probably just wanted to get on the radio.
Yeah, well, sometimes you can, go ahead and do it anyway and beg for forgiveness later.
yeah,
But begging for forgiveness in North Korea
yeah,
is not too productive.
no,
That poor guy that was over there on some kind of mission or something. I'm not sure. He was a young man,
yeah, I remember.
and they killed him. I mean, they put him in prison, and when they sent him back, he
He was
died.
a zombie. He was
Yeah.
a zombie.
He was
And you know what they got him for? He took some kind of a
a
political
poster,
poster off the wall.
a stinking poster.
Yeah,
I mean, you would think they'd caught a super spy or something, that was.
Well, I will tell you this: they're going hungry over there. Well, they're going to change their ways eventually.
Yeah, you'd think so, but they've been doing it for years and years
Well,
and years.
that leader of theirs says he was a big old fat boy, and now he's dropped some poundage. Last picture I saw,
yeah.
and
They've got a lot of help.
he's not eating. I was in the army. I've seen people who haven't ate a couple months, and
Well,
not eating good anyway.
I don't think that has anything to do with why he's lost weight.
Yeah, I think his health was failing.
He had
Oh, is that
bad
what it
health,
is?
and
Well, yeah, that too, but
they put him on a strict diet, trying
I
to.
don't know. I don't understand it. I will never understand it.
But they just launched a missile from a submarine, which was a first for them.
Huh? So they've got boomers, huh?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Well, this was the first launch.
I just think China keeps them as a political.
Well, China and Russia both keep them going because they're a thorn in our side, and
Right.
they love that.
But I read these articles sometimes about him, and he's always about the U.S. And I'm thinking about, you want to rule the world, you got China to think about up north.
Yeah, he's not going to rule anything that. He's not going to do anything that China doesn't approve of.
Exactly right. They're the ones that's helping him with all of this.
Yeah, oh yeah.
China and Russia both.
Yeah.
It's just it's a nuisance.
Who do you think's selling him all the equipment to be able to?
Well, they're probably giving it to him.
Yeah, to produce uranium.
Looks like that would make China a little nervous.
Yeah, they're awful close to him to have some idiot capable of a nuclear bomb.
Right. And with missiles to deliver it.
Yeah.
I was making a joke to my wife a couple of weeks ago. I was reading about this, and I was like, one day we're going to read about how they blew themselves up.
They'll take South Korea with them, though. And
No, that's true, but I know their nuclear facility collapsed on them, and that was a few years back. They were doing it underground, I think.
yeah, all of their facilities are underground.
And so, yeah, I don't know. The modern era seems to change a lot of people.
I thought the Israelis were going to help them with that collapse there for a while.
Yeah.
The Israelis really wanted to go in there and bomb the crap out of them, but they didn't have anything that would penetrate those caves that
All you got to do, Bill, is hit the entrance to the cave randomly, where nobody knows when it's going to happen. And if you randomly hit the entrance, those scientists are not going to want to go in there.
Nope. But I mean, look at Saudi Arabia. That they've done a 180 from 20 years ago. They don't want to be involved in all this other stuff anymore. Life's
Yeah,
too good. Life's too good.
The younger guy that's taking over that really runs the country is liberalizing things a little bit. I mean, he's finally decided that women can drive cars.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, they were, I think, about a year and a half ago, they were building stuff so Hollywood would come out there. So, yeah, North Korea, they're still back in the 50s. The
Yeah.
world's changing.
And still half starving to death.
Yeah. Really unfortunate too. Yeah, but Mr. Bill, just give me an email and I'll come do that for you.
Okay, I might take you up on that.
Yeah. It's no sweat off my back. I just got to drive it up, bring it up to you. I'll throw the wire, not the wire, but I'll throw the rope in the tree and then you can do the rest.
And you said, how much coax did you say it had on it?
Say what now?
How much coax?
How much coax do you need?
Well, I've got 100 foot and I could just terminate each end of that 100-foot piece I've got. So 100 feet would be enough because I do have a big tree just directly west of where I'm going to have the radio gear.
Bill, does that coax have PL 259s on each end?
It doesn't yet, but I've got the crimpers to put them on. I bought a pair of crimpers when I bought the coax and the crimp-on type connectors. Years ago, I used to solder them on, but that's a kind of a dicey deal, a little bit. I'm sure you can do it just fine, but
I do it, but I don't enjoy doing it.
No, nobody does.
So I thought crimping would be the way to go.
If it makes a good connection, it's the way to go.
Yep.
I've never done the crimping, but if you go buy a piece of coax with them on it, they're normally crimped on. So
Right.
evidently
Yeah.
somebody can do it.
There is no reason you shouldn't get on the air, Bill. No reason.
Yeah, I've got a radio and a power supply.
There you go. That's all you need. And an antenna.
I need a hole in the wall and your 20-meter antenna, and I could do it.
Yep.
Yeah, get you on the air on 20, and then that thing comes with a tuner, right?
It does. It'll tune up to about a 3-to-1
So
SWR.
even with a 20 meter inverted V, you could probably tune 15, 10, maybe even 6. I don't know.
Well, you can certainly do 20 and 10 on it.
Yep.
With your tuner.
You can play around with it and see what's going on.
And like John said, it'd give you a chance to get familiarized with your transceiver.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's going to take a while, I'm quite sure. I've watched several YouTube videos on it, and it's got more buttons and knobs than you can shake a stick at.
Yep, all of them do, Bill.
Yeah, but one thing I've learned, though, you can watch all the videos you want to. You got to get your hands on it and learn your own way.
I agree.
Because there's more than one way to skin a cat, right? So there you go.
Yeah, but you're absolutely right. Until you can read or watch videos all day long, but until you get in there and start playing around with it, you're not going to really learn it.
Here, get it set up, get your antenna, power it up, and the first thing you want to do is find that automatic antenna tuner button. So you can push that button and tune the antenna, match the antenna, and then you're ready to go.
Well, the 20 meter wire that I got, yeah, it's already resonant. So it's
Yeah.
1-to-1 from 14 what?
Okay, let me put it this way, John. If his tuner is tuned already to some piece of wire that doesn't match your resonant antenna, he's going to show a mismatch.
Oh, that is true.
So he needs to find that antenna, either turn the antenna tuner off or find out where it's at, the button you push to tune. You push that button and it tune it immediately
Right.
because it won't have far to go with the resonant antenna.
Yeah, no, you got a good point. Yeah, okay. But I mean, yeah, but it's all been measured by antenna analyzer. So
Do you have an antenna analyzer, Bill?
No, I've been looking at these.
they're expensive.
Well, they've got some new, I guess they're new. They're new to me anyway. Small analyzers that, they're around $100 to $150 that have a graph on them.
I have a MFJ antenna analyzer, but
Yeah.
I also have a VNA.
That's what I was trying to think of.
I've got a small VNA, and they had a bigger screen whenever I bought this one. They have even a bigger screen now, but I've had this one a long time. But I hook it to a laptop, so I don't even look at the screen on the VNA. I just look at the laptop screen, and it's got software that runs it, and it's the way to go.
So if I've got that, I don't really need a different analyzer, do I? I mean, that'll do.
That'll do it all.
Okay.
I use it to test my low pass filters for my amplifiers that I build. I use it for everything. You can. So that's the tool to have. And it goes up high in frequency. I can't remember. Mine goes like from way down below the broadcast, maybe 100 kilohertz to 4 gigahertz or something like that.
Wow. Yeah.
So,
that should.
and it's cheaper than an MFJ antenna analyzer.
Yeah, you can buy them. And I don't know what quality they are, but you can buy them like for $50 or $60.
I think mine was $60. I'll get it.
Well, guys, I'm gonna have to get out of here.
Okay, John.
Yep. Send me an email, Bill. Ken, there it is, right there. Ken, you have a good week, man. We'll talk to you next week, okay?
All right, you guys be careful.
Yeah.
All right, Bill, send me an email. I'll do that for you. You guys have a good week.
Can you see
Okay.
it, Bill?
Yeah, I can. Yeah, Nano VNA. That's what I was trying to think of. Yes.
Well, this is a small one, but I don't look at the screen on it.
Yeah, you feed it into your PC.
Yeah, and it's got software, PC software, laptop software, and so I just look at the laptop screen. And I don't know if you was on here whenever I first got on the scene. There was a young guy here on, and I directed him to my k5dnl.com website, and there's a couple of images in there of antenna that I took. You can download the image from this. So I have a couple of images on my website that are from this.
I guess you have some sort of adapters that screw on there for PL259.
Yeah. Okay. I was trying to figure out where I had it picture at. Well, If you go to my k5dnl.com website and click on antennas on the 630-meter vertical, it's got a nano analyzer image on there. And that'll show
Okay,
you
so, so you have a website that's,
k5dnl.com.
okay. Okay, I didn't know that. I'll write that down.
And this is basically my website for 630 meters, which is the one I build. I build amplifiers for 630 and 2200 meters, and I quit doing it, but I still have my website and I still have the information up there to help people out.
Those are the solid state.
Solid
amps.
state 200-watt amplifier. Also on there is under miscellaneous stuff is one of my astrophotography pictures.
Okay.
It's a nebula called Rosette Nebula, and also there is some picture of a eastern bluebird inside the bluebird box. I've had a lot of pictures published in Outdoor Oklahoma. There's a couple of them there, and there's also a printout. Whenever I worked at station in Australia on 630 meters, I've got a screenshot of the WSJTX software. So it
So
shows
Ken,
that-
when you're doing moon bounce, does the person you're talking to also have to be bouncing off the moon too?
Yes, we
Okay.
both have to be able to see the moon at the same time.
Okay.
And that's why it was difficult to work China, because there's only about a 2-hour window that we can both see the moon. And whenever conditions are good and there's a station on in China that's trying to do moon bounce, everybody in the United States is trying to work him. So, so I was lucky to get to work that guy. I got a card from him right quick too. And he was some kind of a government official. He worked for the Environmental Protection Group. Believe it or not, I guess they have one.
I'm surprised.
Yeah.
Boy, the air over there in those big cities is just,
Pretty bad, isn't it?
yeah. At Seagate, we had, as I'm sure you know, we had facilities in Thailand and Singapore.
Mhm.
And I went to Thailand several times, and when you're coming in, and planes letting down you just let down into this brown haze,
Yeah.
and you never see a clear shot of the sun all the time you're there. And
And you're breathing that crap.
yep, you are.
Can't be good.
No. I never did stay for any prolonged
Yeah.
visits. Generally, I think the longest I was there was maybe, I don't know, 5 days or something like that, 4 or 5 days. Generally, it was some kind of a big meeting. I think a lot of those meetings where they spend all the money of flying people from all over the world to those meetings may be kind of a thing of the past, since Zoom came along and has become so popular.
Yeah, and coronavirus probably put a stop to some of that too.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, we don't have to worry about it anymore. We don't have to worry about Seagate sending us to Thailand anymore.
No, no. Neither one of us had to worry about that for a long time.
No.
You said 2000, right? And I was
Yeah.
2003.
Well, we every winter, my wife and I used to go to South Texas between Christmas and New Year's. And so we went ahead and went. I don't have to use very much vacation time between Christmas and New Year's, all the holidays and stuff. So I
Right.
did that, and then whenever I came back from that, I think it might have been January the 2nd or something like that. That was my last day of work. I came back, worked one day in 2000, and that was it.
Well, it was a good place to work.
Oh, I loved it. I really enjoyed working for Seagate.
I can't complain. I started when it was General Electric.
And so did
Yeah.
I.
Did you really?
No, it was Honeywell when I started.
Yeah, yeah. Because I started in 1969, June
Yeah.
of 69, and it was still GE. But within 6 months or so, they had sold out to Honeywell.
Yeah.
So I transferred to another GE location. They sent me to Syracuse, New York.
Yeah, I remember that place.
Oh my God, you talk about snow. Holy moly. I mean, it was
That's
pretty
bad.
miserable.
Pretty bad for an Okie, isn't it?
It is.
Have to go up there.
Oh, and then from there, they sent me to Erie, Pennsylvania. And we decided that we were back on vacation, and I got in touch with some of the people still knew a lot of people at what was then Honeywell, and got in touch with them and found out there were some job openings, and talked to some of the guys, and got an interview with, I don't know if you knew a guy named Paul Penny.
No, the name sounds familiar.
Yeah, he was a manager out there for a good while. And so anyway, he hired me, and we moved back, and we were glad to get back to Oklahoma.
Yeah. It's like a pay raise just to get out of that high dollar place up north.
Yeah, it was definitely more expensive up there. It was an experience. At Syracuse, the mountains and the trees around there are beautiful in the fall.
Yeah.
But it gets cold in the winter, and it snows like crazy.
Utility bills are pretty high up there too.
The lake effect snow from the Great Lakes just buries that part of the country in snow.
Yeah, I'm just I don't want to move any further north than where I'm at.
It gets too cold for me around here.
Me too. My daughter-in-law Andrea said that she don't want to live north of I-40.
That's okay. I certainly don't have any desire to move somewhere farther north, or to move anywhere.
Me neither. I'm an old homebody now, man.
Yeah, me too. When we built this house on the 10 acres here, we more or less said, this is it. Next stop will be the undertaker or the hospital or something, but we won't be moving.
I'll be in the Dale Cemetery. It's right up there about a block from me. Already bought and paid for. But I'm pretty happy where I'm at here. It's kind of semi-country and got a little bit of room for antennas.
Yeah, you have some understanding neighbors. They're not griping about your antennas.
No, they don't ever say anything.
That's one problem I've had in trying to locate a position for this antenna is my brother and sister-in-law live next door to us on the adjacent 10 acres. My brother passed away about a year ago, but she still lives there, and she'll probably be selling the house within a few years. I don't know exactly how long she'll stay, but I don't want to do anything that would, I don't want to position it so that it might hurt her trying to sell her house.
I don't think what you're doing is not gonna hurt any sale of property.
No, putting it down in the trees.
Most people won't even notice it.
Yeah, well, it depends on where I put it. If I put it kind of in where I was talking about, down in the trees there, not right in the trees, but kind of behind some trees, they'll hardly be able to see it.
Yeah. I don't think you have to worry about that. It's not going to hurt the sale of the property. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, I don't know. People are funny though, Ken. You'd be surprised. Our people that live to the east of us got real upset when I built my shop building. I built a 60 by 24, no, 60 by 40 shop building, kind of out back behind our house, about 160 or 70 feet. And it's buried in the trees back there, but his wife got really cranky about it. And I did end up repositioning it. I had to haul in a lot of fill dirt in order to do that, but try to satisfy her a little bit.
I'm glad I don't have that problem here.
Yeah, it's
You can't satisfy everybody, Bill. You gotta,
no, you can't.
we have covenants here, but it's nothing about ham antennas was written into it.
Well, that's the same with us. We have
Yeah.
covenants, and there's nothing at all about
Yeah.
Antennas. There's a lot of other things in there, but there's nothing about shop buildings or ham antennas.
Yeah. I mean, in our covenants somewhere it says you can't build a building within 10 feet of the property line or 20 feet. I don't remember, which is a good rule. I don't want to I don't want my neighbor to build a great big old building 10 foot from my property line next to the road or next to my house, but way out back, I don't care what he does.
Yeah. Well, these lots are long and narrow.
Yeah.
They're for a 10-acre lot. They're
They're
330 foot wide and a quarter mile deep.
Yeah.
So
Well,
back
gosh, if you're way back there somewhere, I don't see how anybody could complain.
Well, I'm not. The back half of the property is so wooded that you can't even walk through it. It's kind of a nature preserve back
Yeah,
there.
I understand. Yeah.
Deer live back there and all kinds of
Yeah,
stuff.
we got deer all over the place out here.
It's not uncommon at all to wake up in the morning and see deer munching on the grass and are
Yeah.
out behind her back fence.
Yeah, I used to have them. It's about 10 o'clock at night. I see my outside light come on. I look out the back window, and the deer's out there eating acorns off the ground.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
We ought to have plenty of acorns. So this is
Yeah.
covered with the native oak trees.
Yeah, that's what we got here. We got some elm too, but got some big oaks. Not big enough. I mean, these suckers must be 100 years old, but they're still not maybe 50 feet tall. Not.
Well, the ones I've got a couple in my backyard that are up there around 45 feet, and then the one tree that I was talking about it's over 40 feet. I shot it from two different sides with a transit, and the ground slopes off a little bit. I got 42 feet on one side, and I think 47 feet on the other side.
Yeah.
So there's some slope in the ground, but
Yeah.
they were actually they were actually taller than I thought they were. I kind of guessed at them being about maybe 30 feet or 35 foot tall, and they surprised me.
Yeah.
They're closer to 50 feet tall.
Yeah, sounds like your antenna's gonna be in a good location. Yeah, you're in good shape. If you get, how far back from the house is it gonna be? You say 100 and something?
Well, I'm gonna have to run it. It's not really that far from our house. It's gonna be about on an angle from the back corner of the house, probably 40, 50 feet from the house back to the antenna. And
That's
but
good.
the bedroom where I'm gonna have the radio is on the front side of the house, so I have to
Yeah, get
run the coax,
around to there.
yeah, around to the
Yeah.
up the side and around the
That's
corner.
good. I'm glad you moved it away from the house. I don't know how many people put it next to their house. They don't realize how much noise they're picking up from their house. So there you got this good transceiver that's got low noise receive that which can pick up weak signals, and then you put the antenna next to your house and the noise covers all that up. You might as well not have a good receiver. So
Yeah, I'm really glad that you pointed that out to me, because I didn't realize until you told me that there was that much noise
oh
coming
yeah, you
from your
can't
house.
believe.
But
You
after
generate a lot of noise yourself, your computers, your router, all that stuff. It's generating noise.
yeah, fluorescent lights, all kinds of
Yeah.
stuff, you know.
Yep.
I just didn't think about it.
And that's another thing about putting your coax underground. That helps get rid of a lot of noise too, because your coax is not picking up anything.
Right. Well, Ken, I think we're the last two here.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of nice to have one-on-one every once in a while here.
It is. I enjoy talking to you. I always learn something.
Well, I'm glad to help. I'll talk to you later.
Okay, I hope to see you next Tuesday.
All right. See you then.
Okay.